I'm out here on the trail today because I've been curious for a while now how 27.5-inch wheels compare to 29-inch wheels when descending, climbing, and jumping. So I figured if I've been curious about that for a while now, some of you all might be too. And that's why I'm taking two identical Siskiu T8s, one with 27.5-inch wheels and the other 29ers, out for some back-to-back testing today. I'll begin with a steep technical climb where each bike will get 3 attempts to complete as much of it as possible. Next will be a quarter mile of descending on a mix of techie rock gardens, tight corners, and flat-out straightaways. Once again, each bike will get 3 tries, this time with the aim of setting the fastest time. Lastly, I'll head to the dirt jumps to compare how each bike feels in the air. A little backstory on me, my first ever mountain bike had 29-inch wheels and I loved that thing. I rode her to its grave. But ever since I've been on the Siskiu T8 with 27.5-inch wheels, I've gotta say I've been a convert. But after spending a year on this bike, I was ready to try something new again and see what, if any, added performance I could gain with the larger wheel size. Thankfully, Polygon lets the rider choose and sells the size medium with both 27.5 or 29-inch wheels, giving riders the option to choose which wheel size best suits their riding style. In theory, a larger wheel should be better at maintaining speed through technical terrain and on straightaways, whereas the smaller wheels should be more agile and maneuverable in tight corners and on jumps, as well as bringing the weight of the bike down. Speaking of weight, that's the first criteria that we'll be scoring the bikes on. Now, my 27.5-inch T8 came in at 34.1 pounds, or 15.5 kilograms, whereas the 29-inch model tipped the scale at 36.3 pounds, or 16.5 kilograms. That's a difference of over 2 pounds, and it'll be interesting to see just how that plays out on the trail. So for the first category we'll be scoring today, the 27.5 gets 5 out of 5 stars and the 29er gets 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of sitting around, so let's get on the trail and check out climbing. All right, I always struggle with this section a little bit, a lot of it. So let's see how I do today. The 27.5 to start. Power is the name of the game. Take 1. Oh, okay. Impossible climb, 27.5. Take 2. Let's get past that crutch. Let's just do it. Yep. Oh no! So my pedal is tricky right there. Maybe I need to go up this. And then not strike my freaking pedal. All right, take 3. 27.5. Here we go. Keep going. Oh. Ah. All right, well, I got past my crux on take 3. That feels good. Couldn't quite corner.
Is this your high point on the 27.5?
Highest point, 27.5.
All right.
And now onto the big bike, 1.5 inches, but that makes a big difference right here. All right, 29er, take 1 on the climb. Let's see what it's got. Oh, my foot got stuck on that stupid rock. 29er, let's see. Ow. Yep. Oh. Funny enough, that's actually farther than the 27.5. All right, power, but straight. Take 3. Power and control. Power and control. Nice. Yep. Power and control. Well, smarter would take that line. It's too late. All right, new record. 29er. Who'd have thought? So with climbing out of the way, it was time for my favorite part, the descents. And that meant getting back on the 27.5 bike. All right. Take one. Let's go. Take two, 27.5. Let's go. Yep, that was faster. Oh, that was slower. Oh, go. All right, take three. On the descent, 27.5. We are gonna rip it. We're gonna get around those corners faster, because that's our biggest crux right now. Rocks ain't no thing, speed ain't no thing, but we definitely could work on our switchbacks descending. And we send it. Yep, that's better. Okay. Eyes. Oh! Pedal it out! Yeah! And right. Nice. 29er on the descent. Let's see how it does. I mean, my prediction is it's gonna roll fast over the chunk, and then we're gonna get to those corners and it's gonna be a little tighter even than the 27.5. But I could be surprised. And let's send. Go. This corner, my bane of my existence. No, where is it? I don't even feel any of this. Unstop. Take two on the 29er. Descent. Take two. And let's go. The rizzle. Let's go. Bring it on like Donkey Kong. Yep. Oh, God. Sketchy. Long split. And can we just pull out some speed at the end? And stop. Whew. All right. That's a wrap. So that concludes climbing and descending, and I gotta say, some of the results they might surprise you. That's all I'm gonna say right now, because you'll have to wait to the end to actually see the results. Right now, we're hitting the jumps. So as you might be able to see from some of the snow patches behind me, it is still winter here in Central Oregon, but we were able to find some dirt jumps that I've actually always seen from the road but never hit before, which I think was a pretty good test run for the 27.5 29. So I rolled in first on the 27.5, which is my go-to bike for any dirt jump action, and it felt great. You know, I was able to get pretty comfortable on these jumps just after a few times and start putting a little style to it. Next up was the 29-inch, which right away, it definitely felt different. I felt like I kind of had to put a little more energy into getting up off the lift, but it still felt good. I was still able to clear the jumps, no problem, which even surprised me a little bit. I thought it would be a little bit wider gap between the two. My second and third attempts on the 29 felt pretty normal. I felt like I wasn't really feeling huge difference. I could still kind of maneuver the bike, maybe not quite as easily as I could on the 27.5, but still felt pretty maneuverable, pretty agile in the air. So all that being said, I give my 27.5 T8 a 5 out of 5 stars because like I've said in videos before, that bike was the first bike where I really started to hone in my jumping skills, you know, start to throw some tricks, and I will hands down always love that bike for jumping. As for the 29-inch wheel, I'm gonna give that a 4 out of 5 stars. It definitely felt a little heavier. I definitely had to put a little more energy into the bike. So, you know, I feel like I'd wear out maybe a little bit more after a session at the dirt jumps. So it's not gonna hit that 27.5 range for jumps, but again, it has surprised me in so many of the other areas that I still love it. And speaking of those other areas, my guess is if you are still tuned into this video, you're eager to hear how the 27.5 and the 29 compared in climbing and descending as well. First up is climbing. I sort of thought my 27.5 that I'm more familiar with would take the cake in climbing, but to my surprise, the 29er got further, probably a good maybe 10, 15 yards further on the climb. That's pretty tricky for me, but as it stands, the 29er, 5 out of 5 stars on the climb. As far as the 27.5 goes, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars because the 29er, yep, it was the champion in the impossible climb, but I still feel pretty solid on the 27.5. Next up, descending. And I gotta say, again, I was surprised at the results in this category. My trusty 27.5, I felt like, no way, definitely gonna be a lot smoother, but I might need to come back to the 29er after these tests. You know, again, maybe in the moment I felt like, oh, it's a little clunkier, but the results don't lie, they speak for themselves. So as far as the 29-inch goes, I'm gonna give it a whopping 5 out of 5 stars on the descents. So like I alluded to, on the 27.5, I still felt faster, and you know, just being a little smaller rider and being closer to the ground, I feel like you do feel more agile. So that being said, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars for those descents. Now, all these results may vary rider to rider, I'm guessing from size to size. You know, as a rider myself, I'm about 5'5", so that may change some of these results. I'd be interested to hear if you've ever done a similar test like this, or if it's something that you want to try. And if you do that, let me know. Drop me a comment, drop me a note. If there's anything I missed or any other things you've noticed in between the 27.5 or the 29-inch wheels, again, drop a comment down below. I'll be hanging out there answering those questions. Love to see those comments come in. While you're down there, like and subscribe to BikesOnline channel, where I'll be hanging out. After you've done that, get out there, get on your bike, and get ripping.